My name is Matt Bowes, and I'm the General Manager of New West Press. Book publishing has traditionally been a low-margin industry, with brick-and-mortar bookstores historically taking around 40% of the cover price as their cut of the sale, and authors and illustrators taking between 8 and 12% of the cover price in royalties. The profit margin on each book is slim. Publishers must also cover the costs of editing, designing, printing, distributing, and marketing each title, as well as paying their staff, rent, taxes, and other costs. Many elements can impact the cost of producing a book. For example, during the pandemic, printing and distribution for publishers became extremely complicated and more expensive. Due to the popularity of online retailers needing more cardboard boxes, paper mills in North America switched their production away from the kinds of paper stock publishers used to make books, making the remaining paper stock more expensive and in short supply. Book distributors also had their expenses go up and had additional complications due to social distancing and increased competition for shipping trucks. This led to major delays and costs being passed on to publishers. As such, publishers had to increase prices on print books, although not enough to really cover the cost increases to publishers. These cost increases appear to have a ceiling, as readers in the US will only pay up to a certain amount for a paperback book, which is what most small publishers in Alberta focus on. The currency difference between our two countries would potentially offset this somewhat, but the increased cost of distribution into the US offsets this. As we explained in an earlier video, Canadian publishers are in a difficult position in the marketplace, as our store shelves are primarily stocked with books from foreign-owned multinational publishers. As such, books published by Canadian publishers make up less than 5% of the marketplace. You might be asking, are ebooks or audiobooks a way for publishers to make up this difference? The answer to this is complicated. While the setup costs for ebooks can be lower than print books, note this does not include educational resources, Canadian readers still overwhelmingly prefer to read in print. Also, while some smaller apps and marketplaces have favorable discounts, the large American vendors like Amazon and Apple take a 50% sales discount, which is the same discount that libraries typically take. Libraries are also moving away from purchasing ebooks and increasingly relying on services like Hoopla, which offer patrons access to books rather than purchasing them from publishers. These services provide incredibly small payments on a per-use basis to publishers, and thus the authors, in a manner similar to those offered by Spotify to musicians. Audiobooks suffer from similar problems. Audio production with real human personnel remains an expensive undertaking and is often outside of what many small publishers are able to afford. Overall, the means by which these kind of books are sold cannot replace print in volume or in revenue. So how are Albertan small publishers making ends meet these days? With industry-wide low wages paired with increased costs, publishers have had to let employees go in many cases, often relying on freelancers for tasks like marketing and design. Publishers are also downsizing office space, publishing fewer books per year, and delaying the release of already contracted books. Some publishing houses have even closed down, and a succession crisis is beginning to rear its head in the industry, as many owners would like to retire and sell their firms, but no one wants to buy them. While Albertan book publishers have access to a variety of different grants to help keep the doors open, these sources are both under-resourced and oversubscribed. As publishers reevaluate how to make ends meet, an important idea to discuss is our front list and back list. This is a simple concept where the front list refers to new books coming out each season, and books from prior seasons form the back list. The backlist could be a huge boon to publishers if those books remain popular and useful. Backlist titles represent known quantities for sales, and publishers use the year-over-year data they provide to gauge sales for upcoming budgets. A publisher with a large and proven backlist has a huge advantage over publishers just starting out in the industry. However, the stability of the backlist has been challenged in recent years due to changes to copyright legislation, which has allowed Canadian universities and other institutions to flagrantly copy sections of Canadian publishers' books without compensating the publishers, and the development of AI. Large language models were trained on stolen books that AI companies did not compensate publishers and authors for. At the end of the day, the margins for book publishers remain low.